I have said many times that I believe that tragedy can be its own particular brand of horror, and this instance is no different. I've once again chosen to dwell upon a location that isn't well known to the public. This place, in all its desolation, has a solemn and unique eeriness. As for the story of this place, these crags are located upon the Bulkman estate, and with permission I was granted access. These lands have belonged to this family for 3 generations, and the source of tonight's inspiration revolves around the first family to inherit these haunted grounds. Annabelle Danielle Bulkman was a mere 9 years old when the tragedy occurred. Her favorite place to play was amongst the crags. Though her family had warned and lambasted her for the dangers of this place, her fixation remained. Every night she would sneak unbeknownst to her family and play amongst the crags. Climbing and laughing, she would indulge till early morning. But lurking in the shadows was a predator licking his chops at the taste of her innocence. One fateful night, as she always did, Annabelle snuck out of the crags and began to play. In the shadows, a rumble stirred. A deep growl of hunger veered into her view. By morning, the small girl's remains were smeared along the crags, her dress torn to bits, and her blood permanently stained upon the rocks. Rumors flew. Was it beast, a wolf, a bear, or a sick human being? The area isn't known for wolves. They are ruled out. And the only species of bear is black bear, and they rarely frequent the area and aren't known for maulings. The cause has always remained unclear, though it was obvious she was torn to bits and chewed upon. Her remains were examined, and it was determined that both animal and human teeth marks were found. I sit upon the place of her death. I can feel both the joy of childhood and the inevitable pain of loss. A presence leering. I can feel it in the distance. Something entirely inhuman leering at me. As I sat writing my next horror, I began to think about the culprit being human, and what a hedonist this monster must have been. And in those thoughts I penned and named tonight's horror. A tale of hedonism gone to extremes. Please enjoy the tale of the lost city of Duvessa, the tale infamously known as Flesh. In the strangled still of night, whispers surround a gleaming light as terrors unknown squill helplessly into the plight of man. Welcome to the dread city of Duvessa. Many unfathomed acts occur in this weary province, driven deep into the muddy, moldy covered earth. Behind closed doors, deep within catacombs of forgotten flesh, dwell the Segritu. Born into alleyways and forlorn caverns, these people are marred at birth, showing an affinity for depravity upon their first breath. Their features are vividly displaced, yet stunning and beautiful. Placed into wicker baskets, they are given to the hags in horrid caverns at birth and fed the milk of damnation. As they grew, secrets swirled around them like the shadows they conjured. Eventually, their dreaded alleyways are barred and secluded out of fear and disgust. Only the most depraved and hedonistic of men frequent these alleyways. It is in the most twisted and torturous of pleasures that these men find validation. The appearance of this province mirrors the twisted, dark secrets it holds within. Built from ancient techniques, the buildings are constructed from a mixture of sun-dried cinder block and red clay. Stacked atop one another with a sickening degree of carelessness, the buildings create a maddening structure that leers angrily into the dilapidated forest that surrounds it. A constant dreary wind encircles the province, bringing with them random yet rare visitors for the denizens to prey upon. Such winds have brought about a drifter who in his desperation has sought out Duvessa for permanent residence. Stillness sullies sanctity as the night sky burns with destitute. The echo of silence acts as a grim prediction of future events. For the first time in his lonely, miserable existence, he begins to second-guess his decision. As dust settles in bizarre screams and arrays of flickering lights flutter from within the maddening structures. With no other choice, the helpless wanderer begrudgingly approaches a random dwelling and knocks upon the slanted, splintered door. Disheveled moans come from within as deep thuds repeat in a rhythmic fashion. Stopping for a moment, the man knocks one last time. As his last knock ends, the door opens abruptly, revealing the face of a woman wearing a gem-studded veil and nothing else. "Let me pleasure you?" she asks, as the man backs away, unable to take his eyes off the woman's curvy frame and large, pierced breasts. No, no pleasure. I need a room. Without hesitation, the woman waves the man in and points to an adjacent room. Hanging upon the walls are necklaces of human teeth, stuffed serpents, human hands, and the heads of beautiful women skewered with needles and painted nails. To run away now would be pointless. Hundreds of miles stand between him and safety. The rotten and dead forest holds its own dangers that he never wishes to see ever again. And worst of all is the looming threat of incarceration. This nightmare will become his new home. He is taken to a room with a simple bed made of straw, with a desk and a chair in the corner. Placing his bag down, the man closes the door and secures a pistol from his bag and reluctantly lays down to rest. Fear grips him as he desperately tries to keep his eyes open, but ultimately he fails. Hours pass before he is awakened by agonizing screams. Leaping from bed, he instinctively grabs his firearm and runs into the living room, only to find that the screams have changed to pleasurable moans. Confused, the man creeps closer to the door as the pulsating sound of banging wood enters his ear. Taking a second to collect himself, the man slowly opens the door and sees the veiled woman gyrating atop another man. At first, he thinks this is nothing more than a brothel, but as he enters the door, he further discovers the horrid truth. Chains bind the man to a mattress of bloody pleasure as nails are bound into the man's flesh. And most horrid of all, tendons and clotted blood lie where the man's head should be. Just above the bed, chained to the wall, is the man's head, whose eyes roll backwards and whose mouth moans with sickening pleasure. Though the man should be by all earthly means dead, he remains alive in a twisted orgy of pain and pleasure. Running out into the dwelling and into the night, the man heads north, deep into the province, not by plan nor design, but out of raw instinct and fear. Deep from within the withered wood lurks a sinister presence that surrounds Duvessa, awaiting the rotting feast of hedonistic reckoning. The man fearfully stumbles into another dwelling. Lying on the floor is another woman similar to the first, with darker skin and a longer veil. "Hurt me," whispers the woman, as she rolls senselessly across the floor. Despite her human appearance, the woman seems a bit off, as if she appeared from a dream. Her features, especially in the face, are smooth, almost flat, giving the woman an otherworldly yet alluring aura. Without warning, the woman reveals a razor-sharp knife and begins slicing her skin. In place of blood, a rancid odor takes a lethal hold of the man's nostrils. Paralyzed, the man watches in horror as long, hair-like fibers begin pouring from the woman's wounds and attaching themselves to the wall. The woman is lifted into the air as she moans with unbridled pleasure. Snap! Crack! The woman's neck begins to snap as she turns into an inhuman angle. "Take me, take me, take me, take me," she repeats with the rhythm of gruesome and horrid flair. Once again, the helpless man retreats to the streets of Duvessa, only to be met by hundreds of hooded figures. Teeth, spinal columns, skulls, femoral bones, and large clotted patches of human hair cling to robes made of animal flesh. Completely surrounded, the man begins to shoot, killing 8 of the hooded figures before his pistol goes blank. Even in the presence of death, the hooded figures remain stoic until one of them steps forward and removes his hood. "It's unfortunate, really," he states bluntly before continuing. "If you were to just accept the offerings of Duvessa, you could remove all your fear. Relax, we're just men like you. Your past haunts you with violence and rage. You can have it all here. We know. We know what you have done, and more importantly, what you really want. You can hurt them, our women. We know you love the anger, the rage, the release of violence. They bleed for you, with you. We have mastered the blessings of harmonious, and with them summoned our deepest desires. What are they besides playthings? You can never leave. Just surrender to us, and we'll see your darkest desires brought to life. Once you take them, and their wombs, you're connected forever, immortal and pleasured for eternity. Stop fighting, Charlie," finishes the man whilst disrobing. What? What the heck? How do you... No, this shit is twisted, stammers Charlie as he backs towards the wall. "You act as if you have a choice," finishes the mysterious man just before entering an adjacent dwelling. Without warning, dozens of Segritu suddenly appear through the portals of grime and gore. The struggle is short-lived. Charlie is overtaken in mere moments as the veiled woman begins caressing and pleasuring a frightened Charlie. With every kiss lingers a deep rotten wound, fostering thousands of tiny otherworldly pestilence that voraciously gnaw at Charlie's freshly exposed flesh. Screaming in pain, Charlie is subdued as one of the women removes her veil, revealing a horizontal slit where her mouth should be. As it slowly begins to open, a long, lanky, flat, parasitic creature slowly crawls forth and forces its way down Charlie's screaming gullet. Flashes of horrid light and sounds of foreign evil bombard poor Charlie, as he feels himself hoisted from the ground and dropped harshly as he loses consciousness. Suddenly, Charlie feels a rush of pain flow through his every being. "I told you not to fight," echoes a mysterious voice. Charlie awakens to a room of mirrors, and to his horror finds himself mutilated and scattered throughout the room. His eyes are removed and his skull broken, revealing the lobes of his brain, which are licked by the deviant and devilish women. Hanging upon the wall, his limbs flail in pain as they are nailed and burned. His innards have been removed and soaked in oils as the women gyrate upon his loin, causing him to gush blood upon release. In eternity's dark and decadent hand is where Charlie Holland Prash shall remain for endless eons. Suffering and anguish know no end in the dark dwellings of Duvessa. Pray and recant, should the decadent and depraved, for if they do not find Duvessa, Duvessa shall find them. And that was tonight's terror tale, Flesh, here at Advent Wrath. Hope you enjoyed it. Join us next time for another terror tale written at the scenes of atrocity and evil. Thanks for listening.